Hello, it is 9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition. For tonight headlines, we have the President of the Republic receives the Vice President of the Ethiopian Prosperity Party. The presentation of the first electric vehicle made in Cameroon in Africa. Welcome to our newsroom. The President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, received this morning at the Palace of the Republic a high-level Ethiopian delegation led by the President of the Ethiopian Prosperity Party, Mr. Adam Farah, who handed over to the President of the Republic a writing message on the menu of the discussions between the head of state and the Vice President of the Ethiopian Party, several topics of common interest, including the state of friendship and cooperation relations between the two countries and peoples, as well as ways and means to promote and develop them further. The discussions were then extended to the issue of the Gerd Dam, where the Republic of Djibouti encourages a dialogue between the three countries in order to reach compromises to share equitably the Nile waters. The Ethiopian delegation was composed of the Ethiopian Deputy Ministers of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Mesganu Arga, and the Director of African Affairs, Mr. Jamaluddin, as well as the Ethiopian Ambassador to Djibouti, Berhanus Gaye. The Djiboutian side, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Cooperation, International Cooperation, Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, and the Secretary General of the Presidency, Mohamed Abdullahi Wa'is, also attended this audience. For his part, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, said that the audience of the President of the Republic with the Ethiopian delegation served as a framework for the evocations of trade and the identifications of the new strategy in order to establish mechanisms and a solid collaboration between the two countries in several sectors, including the transport and logistics sector, the economic sector, the customs and the trade exchanges between the two countries. The discussion is also focused on the importance of strengthening partnerships between Djibouti and Ethiopian customs services to address issues such as fraud, smuggling, trafficking of all kinds. The project of corridors between Djibouti and Ethiopia was also among the topics addressed during the audience between the head of state and the Vice President of the Ethiopian Party. The President of the National Assembly, Dileita Mohamed Dileita, is participating in the work of the 14th Conference of the President of Assembly and the sections of the African regions of the Parliamentary Assembly of the Francophonie, which is taking place on 3 and 4 April 2023 in Audit in Cote d'Ivoire. The President of the National Assembly is accompanied by a delegation of the parliamentarians who are members of the Francophone Parliamentary Assembly, in this case Omar Abdullahi Ahmed, Abdullahi Mohamed Ibrahim, Ilaya Ismail Gedi, Ubah Abdullahi Ilmi. This 14th Conference of Presidents of Assembly and sections of the African regions of the French-speaking Parliamentary Assembly, which is taking place in Abidjan, is an opportunity for the African parliamentary leaders of the APF to discuss a series of sensitive issues, political questions, and the question the situation in a number of African countries. On the sidelines of conferences, the President of the Republic, Alassane Ouattara, received in audience the President of the Assembly present at the conference. During this meeting, the Speaker of the Djiboutian Parliament, Dileita Mohamed Dileita, conveyed to the head of state of Cote d'Ivoire the greetings and friendship of the President of the Republic, Ismail Omar Guelleh. Also on the sidelines of his participating in the second days, the President of the National Assembly and his delegation were received by the Lounge of Honor of the President Adama Bictogo. This meeting was an opportunity for the new President to consolidate their dialogue and to exchange on the issue and challenges facing the APF. In addition, during a press briefing, the Speaker of the Djiboutian Parliament and his distinguished counterpart dwelt at length on the bilateral cooperation ties between Djibouti and Abidjan, stressing lastly that these age-old relations maintained by the two countries must be strengthened. The Minister of Muslim Affairs participated in the award ceremony of the Quranic contest organized by the Saudi School as part of the activities marking the blessed month of Ramadan. The Minister of Muslim Affairs and Waqf Mumin Hassan Barre participated in the award ceremony of the young winners of the Holy Quran Memorizations Contest organized by the Saudi School. The winners were awarded the prizes of the ambassador of the custodian of the two holy place mosque in Djibouti, Mr. Faisal bin Sultan Al Qabbani. The minister was welcomed by the Chargé d'Affaires of the embassy, Mr. Abdul Aziz Al Harbi, and the directors of the Saudi school, Mr. Salah bin Abdullah Al Ghamdi, as well as all other senior officials invited. In his speech, the minister emphasized the support of the ministry to such a religious competition. In his speech, the minister emphasized the support of his ministry to such a religious competition while praising the initiative of the Saudi embassy for organizing this event. He pointed out that the participants are from private school and Quranic memorization centers, which can help discover young talent and highlight the growing interest in memorizing the Book of Allah among young girls and boys. For his part, the minister ministers congratulated the winners for their commitment and dedications to memorize the Quran by heart. He also invited them to participate in the Djibouti Regional Competition Head of State Prize in its 23rd edition, which will start in a few days during the holy month of Ramadan. Finally, the minister thanked all those who contributed to the success of this contest and the promotions of the reading of the Holy Quran. There are several to be the spokespersons of the youth in Djibouti. They are called child parliamentarian and are at the services of other children. The objective is to raise awareness of the children of the real world, early marriage, school dropout, disability, but also violence against children. It is the establishment of an anchor for a culture of children's rights, promoting democratic education, citizenship, and tolerance. Indeed, it is a question of allowing these children to play a role of ambassadors of childhood in their regions, but also to promote a culture of dialogue between children on the one hand and between children and leaders on the other hand. Being under the supervision of the Ministry of Women and Family, these child parliamentarians are doing their work with young people with brio in a world that's changing faster than ever. Any society militants in the field of childhood must have mechanisms and institutions dedicated to children. It is in this perspective that the Republic of Djibouti, through its Ministry of Women and Family, has launched the Parliament of the Child. What better to be listening to those for whom our government works tirelessly for a brighter future. And a fine example that is rooted in a far-sighted policy of the Republic, of the President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, who gave his high instructions the creations of this mechanism, a founding act that was the triggers of a new dynamic for the launching of a modernist conceptions concerning the relationship of the child with the society. 27 new child parliamentarians, including 14 boys and 13 girls, selected in the public and private institutions of Djibouti City and the interior regions, where the new junior deputy for a term of 2 years, 2018-2020. This initiative is included even children with special needs, an event that took in its foundation is in what the values of democracy and citizenship have the most noble, a new idea, a new anchors proved by all and will make its way over time. So in this, it was important this parliament could fully play a role of a catalyst that participate in the preparations of new generations, starting from their effective role as a main partners in the national development through the control of local public thing elected for a 2-year term. The first 27 child parliamentarians were replaced by new ones for the 2021-2023 sessions during a voting session held at the National Assembly of Djiboutian women. These child parliamentarians have learned to listen to what others say, to respect their opinion, to dialogue and exchange their ideas without resorting to violence, hatred, or exclusions. These child parliamentarians today know the rules of that govern the lives of a democratic and organized society based on rights, but also on obligations, knowing that the practice of democracy, like all human activities, need rules that are practiced and respected. These child parliamentarians know that respecting democratic procedures is a daily exercise, a permanent democratic exercise, and the practice of democracy today needs honest men and women who think of serving the common interest. They are the spokespersons for their classmates, the youth of their neighborhood, their regions. These young parliamentarians are there to share their concerns and aspirations, to defend their rights, to make proposals that will help to improve their situations concretely, especially those of the most vulnerable among them. These young people have seized this opportunity of the International Day of the Child to conduct awareness and advocacy in school neighborhoods on the issues that affect you most: rural children's early marriage, school dropout. Co-creation workshop of the Play to Learn project concludes. A co-creation workshop for the Play to Learn project organized by the USAID and implemented by Mott MacDonald closed yesterday afternoon at Sheraton Hotel. This training workshop, which took place from March 3 to 5, brought together participants from MENFOP and the Minister of Women and Family. Also, UNICEF, NGOs such as UNFD, Sunnah Al-Hayat took part in this workshop. The objective of this workshop is to present the objectives of the Play to Learn project, but also to ensure an active participation of all the concerned actors in the designs of the project in order to guarantee their ownership and the accountability of all the actors. The MENFOP representatives emphasize the transformative project of which preschool is an essential pillar in order to improve the quality and inclusion of the education system. More generally, during this workshop, the various stakeholders and participants developed activities specific to each component of the project that aims to strengthen and develop preschool education.
We take care of children with special needs. And today we are in a meeting financed by USAID. They have the project of opening the kindergarten in whole Djibouti for public and private schools. So today we were planning the different activities we are going to have during the next year in different schools with many partners, and we have so much hope for the future of Djibouti, for children of Djibouti.
The city of Dakhil lives to the rhythms of Ramadan, the blessed month. Thus, the inhabitants meet in the mosque to break the fasting day around a collective iftar. The authorities of the city of Dakhil participated in this collective iftar, including leaders of the regional council. After the break of the fast, it is the turn of the evening prayers to allow the Dakhil people to perform their Taraweeh. A participant of this event explained to our correspondent that these moments of collective prayers are organized to serve as an example. We learned with great emotions the death of the late Ali Ibrahim Muhammad occurred this Wednesday after a long illness. The deceased was born in 1943, began his career in education several times, school directors until his retirement in 1997. The deceased Ali Ibrahim Muhammad was a very appreciated personalities in his professional and his professional environment, but also among the community he worked with during his long career, sharing the pain of the family. The late Ali Ibrahim Muhammad, the Minister of Education is Mustafa Muhammad Mahmoud, and the Minister of Decentralization addressed their most condolence to the family of the late lamented Ali Ibrahim Muhammad. We pray God to welcome him in his eternal paradise. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. For the international scene, Africa presentations of the first electric vehicle made in Cameroon, Daryl Ganu Tugay, a young Cameroonian engineer in electromechanics, has just manufactured a three-seater electric vehicle made in Cameroon, mounted on three wheels, pulled by a 15 kilowatt engine is powered by a 10 kilowatt hybrid battery. This vehicle, which has an autonomy of 100 kilometers, is considered a real innovation in African automotive industry. It is Atum, the first electric vehicle made in Cameroon, manufactured by Daryl Nganu Tugay, a young 20-year-old engineer specialized in the manufacture of hybrid electric vehicle. This strike comes to meet the needs of an African market in search of responsible automobiles. To build this vehicle, Daryl had to combine the know-how of local mechanical engineering with electronic part manufactured in China, mounted on three wheels, pulled via 15 kilowatt motors, powered by 10 kilowatt battery. The vehicle has a range of 100 kilometers, and undeniable assets for this vehicle, capable of transporting up to 3 people seated in the busiest city in the country. And to close up this edition, TRT Africa, the new digital news platforms dedicated to African news, for years, Africa has been covered unilaterally by Western media alongside African initiatives such as Africa 24. New emerging powers also want to extend their influence through the media in Francophone Africa. It is in this context that Turkey announced the launch of TRT Africa, a new digital news platform created as part of the Turkish state media group. TRT's objective is to expand its program in Africa. The launch of the channel was attended by more than 15 media executives from about 25 African countries. In these battles of influence to influence public opinions in Africa, Turkey also announced the launch of its media TRT Africa at the first TRT African Broadcasting Union Summit held on March 31, 2023 in Turkey. This is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.